Hello everyone. Today I'm joined by Mrs. Mahua Roy, who has founded a brand called Mirshika. So hello ma'am, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi. It's my pleasure to be here.
Great. So ma'am, can you just tell me a little bit about your background, especially when it comes to, building brands and
Yeah.
how you have actually come up with, a brand name Mirshika?
Yeah, actually, let me give a little bit of, my introduction. That's I'm a NIFT graduate, and I've been also was a former panel designer with the Ministry of Textile. So I got an opportunity to work with the artisans and weavers for almost a decade now. So yeah, my passion to work with them had drive me to start this brand called Mirshika.
Mm-hmm.
So we are an artisanal gifting solution.
Artisanal gifting solution. That's quite a unique brand when you think about it, because craftsmanship is something that comes with a lot of experience.
Yes.
So dealing with a lot of artisans is what has helped you
Yes.
in this entrepreneurial journey. So how did you exactly identify this opportunity? Like, it's a gifting solution. So how
Yes.
did you identify this opportunity in the market?
See, first we were wanted to do, as I said, always with the artisanals, their craft. Yet we also wanted, it has to be something which is like, very, what do you say? It should be like, something which is readily accepted. Like, this gifting space is a big market.
Definitely.
So we thought, why not? As I come from a design background. So I thought, with my design skill, let me come up with these artisans, their traditional craftsmanship and my designs. And we thought of making an artisanal gift, home decor. Actually, it's an home decor artisanal, gift. So we thought, why not come up with this gift, and get into the industry of gifting. So, and Mirshika is all about, like, it's a Sanskrit word, and it also means a gift of love.
So, okay, that's actually very sweet.
Yes.
And what exactly helped you set up your path towards entrepreneurship? Because, of course, straight out of college, NIFT, like you mentioned, it is something that is a little daunting. So, what helped you take the first step towards this journey?
See, initially I had worked in many places, but this entrepreneurial journey had started like almost like, during the COVID time, when I was really thinking, something that I really wanted to do for these artisans, and why not get into, because I've been working for so many years, in an export house, and then in a partnership with one of my friend, where we had also started, but then it was an garment industry. So we thought, why not do it something with this craft. And it all started during this COVID, where I got time to think and start this journey of my entrepreneur.
And like, one thing that I'm quite intrigued by, I would say, is that typically craft is not taken as seriously when it comes to entrepreneurial journey. So how did you get to overcome that?
Yes, because see, when it comes to handicraft, people have that mindset of handicraft matlab what you get in the melas, when there's artisans, they come and they display and stuff like that. So that was a very sad part when it comes, when people really, what do you say, judge handicraft as being like a, it's very
A home
generic,
project,
a generic, like, So I thought, why not come up with something, a unique idea, like, yet traditional, yet it has a contemporary twist. So, and also I can train them, with my design skill. So this is how I started. It's all like, if you see these dokra pieces, they are like a very, the metal handcrafted. And it has been doing for the Mohenjo-daro era, the same technique, still they maintain it. So, but we give them or package them in such a way in a box, so that it gives you an experience of it, from where it is coming, the whole story behind it. And also we try to push the artisan forward, rather than we Mirshika, we have always tried to change the livelihood of the artisan. So yeah, this is how we thought, this is a unique idea of gifting, yet come with a unique, experience box, which tells its own story. So when you have this Mirshika box in your hand, you will really love unboxing it, because every fold tells you something,
Yes, it's a unique experience.
Yes.
That's definitely there. And so like I mentioned, like this would have been a challenge, that okay, craftsmanship is one aspect of it, but what other challenges did you face, especially during the early days of Mirshika, about how you got about with your business model, setting it up, because it's always a trial and error method. So what did you learn, and what was the challenges exactly?
See, the thing is, handling them, it's the toughest, because they have their own challenges. And when we reach out to them, initial days, it was like the building a trust between an artisans and us. And also, when you give a design input, they are not readily, they will accept it, because they have been doing it for ages.
Of course.
And they feel like, I am quite okay, I'm doing my business decent, and it's also like government has supported them a lot. But even though they feel, they are not there to, evolve, or they are not ready to accept, okay, I know this is the traditional way, but why will I accept your design? These were the challenges initially, to build the trust between them. And also, having said that, when we used to, place an order, and they will not come up to you to say that, ma'am, I need this, because they are not business minded. So they will not ask money from you at one go. They will not say, you pay me this much, so I'll start your work. ठीक है ma'am, हो जाएगा. So you waited for that 10-15 days, and then once you call them back and you say, no, I don't have money to buy raw materials. So first, before we place the order, what I have learned, first, before you place the order, you have to see what is their requirement. Might be they need money to buy the raw materials. Might be they have the other challenges also. Like, somebody is sick. Somebody, they need fund for something else. Might be they don't have even the grocery. So once you be, a very friendly approach. Okay, sab kuch theek hai. Do you need anything extra? So it is not like a give and take. It is like building a relationship, which initial days was a little, even them to accept you. Once that has been built, once they get that confident on you, so then it becomes easy. But the initial days was a challenge.
Definitely. It's kind of like, rather than having a vendor management kind of relationship with them, it is, you have to build an employer-employee kind of relationship.
Yes, and that was an emotional connect. How with a family member? Once you enter to someone like, your cousins. The cousins are like, you need to first build that emotional bonding with them. So first, we used to not know that. So first, we have to build that emotional connect. Now the families from a different regions that the artisans are working with us, we have that emotional connect. So they know that if I have to, even for my, a particular scooty, they have bought it and they have to give an EMI. That bonding I have with them, they can call me anytime. And they said, ma'am, is baar paise nahi aaye. So can you send me this much? I have to pay this in my EMI. Apart, forget about what product or what order you are placing. Any given point of the year, round the clock, they can reach out to me. So that confidence now they have with us.
So that's definitely a point of you have to actually build that relationship. That is definitely an aspect to entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So as businesses evolve, they have become very dynamic, and with every change or every new thing that comes into the market, it becomes more competitive.
Yes.
So what strategies have you applied from your end to make sure that Mirshika stays up in the competitive game of, gifting solutions?
Yeah. See, we are a startup. So we are still in a journey of learning. So it's been almost like, I can say, 3.5 years that Mirshika is born. So we are still learning, and if every time the market change, every time the demand change. So we need to know, first we used to make product what we like. This is something I like it, so I know that market also would accept it. So slowly we came to know, no, this is something we have to even understand the requirement of the market. and also the price bracket. And also, like, you need to know this is the price range that generally people are accepting. And keeping that price bracket in mind, because it's an handcrafted thing, so it's tend to be expensive because it takes a lot of process before doing it.
Yes.
So yeah, that is what we keep learning. We see the market, we see like the demand, and also nowadays we try that these are the boxes that we have, but according to the demand of the market, we customize it.
Yes.
Along with the price range also. Yeah, that we do now.
Definitely. So that's a very unique approach. Like, of course, there is a lot of trial and error when it comes to learning and developing something that's unique to your brand.
Yes.
And of course, with this, you would need a lot of support.
Yes.
So where would you say you found a lot of support, especially when we talk about, government schemes?
Yeah.
And even, there's a saying that it takes a village to build to grow a child, to help out a child be all rounded. So that way, even a business needs a different support from family, friends, government, at every level of the society. So where did you find that support?
See, people are liking our product. Our product are very unique. It has an emotional connect, as I said, and we always try to promote, of course, Mirshika as a brand, but also our artisans. So we always keep our artisans forward. We always craft a story in and around them. So if I'm selling you something, you will know from which region it is coming and who is making it. This is what we do. And as far as government support, yet we haven't received anything. We have been trying to reach out to other banks and the small scale industries, like where government has, but then I'm still trying hard. Where I really need, like where good corporates, or might be a bank, or might be government schemes. Yeah, we are in the process of getting help, but
it is something yet to develop.
Yes,
definitely. And of course, like such support, it takes some time, but once it is in place, I'm sure that it helps boost.
Yes, but
startups.
now till date, I've been getting help from my family. It's all self-funded. So my family, my brother, he stays in US. So bits and pieces, they keep supporting me for my venture. This is how this Mirshika is going. And
it's created with love, for love.
Yes.
I believe that is a very apt way to put it.
Yes.
So now moving on to some questions that would pertain to a womenpreneur.
Yeah.
So there are some unique challenges that typically women face when building their own businesses.
Yes.
So for you, what were those, and what was the mindset you had to adopt to kind of tackle them?
See, the mindset as I deal with the artisans, as I said, first of all, this teaches you to be impatient, You can't say like, you can't treat them as we discussed, like in vendor. Aaj order diya, kal tak aana chahiye. Sometimes it also happens, what you're expecting, it turns out to be totally different. Those you have to keep in mind. Secondly, you also need to know, like, being a woman, it always been a challenge. When you have to really go to their villages, stay with them. I can't sit in the AC room and call them and sharing my designs because there are people out there who doesn't have a smartphone. So if I'm really building something, a unique designs, or I want them to work in a particular way, so I have to travel to their villages. I have to be there, sanitations, security. These always been a challenge to me. But this is what my passion is. I love staying with them. I have never looked into my comfort. I always have seen, because it's unless until you're passionate about what you're doing, I don't think so you are able to sustain it. So this is what drives me. And this is, there are a lot of challenges, but I love walking and being in village, being in their house, and these are small things, and we try to overcome.
There's like for passion, like there's a saying, right? Like for passion, we'll overcome anything. Any obstacle is just a small speed bump, and you get through it easily. Definitely. And like when it comes to women, this is a very generic question, and honestly, it is something that you might be asked sometimes. I know that you have a child, you have a daughter.
Yeah.
And there is a responsibility of managing family along with work, especially if it's not, you're not an employee, you are the founder. So there is different
everything. Yes.
So how is that you are able to, manage? No, I won't say manage, but more like, if I were to reframe these questions, what would you say your daughter looks up to you for when she sees you being an entrepreneur?
Yes. See, actually, as I said, it is more than a decade now. So, and she has seen my passion right from the day she is with me and she's born and she saw me. Like, I can't, like the days when I have given 100% to her when she was born, even with my son, they both have seen me. When I'm with them, I'm totally with them. And they know that somewhere mama likes to be and she loves this space. So they have been always very understanding. Unless until without their support, it would have been a very, very difficult. And also, touch wood, my husband, he is such a big support. And whenever I had to go to villages for almost like a week or 10 days, I know back there behind me, they will be taking care of everything. They are very much matured. Now, being the kids of now generations, you can see them, they are least bothered about things. I'm not saying like, this is like everybody, all the kids are like that, but they become, seeing me so passionate, seeing me working so hard, they tend to not only with their studies, they look into them. Even I leave my house, if they are there, mama, you don't have to look anything behind, we will take care of the maids, we will take care of the foods. And that way they are there, to support and help. So I get that space to enjoy and do what I want to.
Definitely, the support of family is very, very important, especially when you're starting off on your own, because I believe they are your first fans and your first critiques as well.
Yes.
So when we talk about entrepreneurship, there's also an aspect of mentorship that comes into it. So for you, what would you say a mentor should be like? Who was your mentor? And would you be interested in being a mentor for others?
Of course. See, this is the journey that I always want, not only to me, but whoever really wants to come up and look for these kind of work where you are giving back to the society and where you really want to uplift a certain community. And you have to have like I have seen my boss where I used to work in an export house. He was so humble. He was so down to earth. He had never been acted like I'm the boss of the company, or this is not my job, or this is something which I have been allocated to someone else and the person will take care. He was everywhere and he used to do everything. So I have done, I have seen him working so hard and also like taking care of his families parallelly side by side. And I think when you start a business, you also have to let your team be, once they see you are into it, once they see that you are equally, giving that time, that effort, that each and everything is like, taken care by you. So they also tend to come up or look to you that if she can do, why can't we do it? So it is something that I would like to, and even I was a faculty in a fashion institute. So I've been always teaching my students, what your passion, you should chase it, but not at the sake of someone else. It is you who have to get into it first. If you are able to handle it, and if you are able to manage things, but it has to be that humbleness, that politeness, that the way, because see, our work is not only getting work done. Once you see a product, you will see that it has been done with a lot of love.
Yes.
So that mentorship I have learned from my boss, and in this journey, it's all that taught me is to be patient and to get into that level where you can also like see doing things by yourself.
There's an aspect of leading by the example that I believe was passed on to you. So what would you say is the future goal for Mirshika? Because as I can see, the products do look very refined and finished, especially like there's a common misconception that like traditional craftsmanship, they're not really finished.
not niche. They are not for the. See, my main motto is to give them my artisans or like the handicraft, handloom to take it to the international level because they have that potential. The only what I feel they are lacking is on the design concept. My goal or Mirshika's goal is something where definitely taking Mirshika to a global market. Also, not Mirshika, I can say. Mirshika is all about my artisans, my the who are making this product. So I want them to come forward. I want them to speak about the product. So that all revolves around a support, a fund, an investor who should understand, the passion of Mirshika, where we can take them to. Because for me, it becomes like, I have brought Mirshika till here. Because my expertise in design, my expertise of the family or the emotional connect or the, my family of my artisans, I have made this. But to take them to that level of international, I need support from government, from if I get a funder or an investor who can really help me to take them, and wherein I dream of my artisan as I will be explaining about this product. But I want tomorrow my artisan to come, speak about their own product, say how it has been made. The story should be told by them, not by me.
Definitely.
And there are many goals of Mirshika, but it's endless because I want to make a school where, tomorrow these artisans, children should learn their skills. As nowadays it is almost on the verge of extent. Nowadays they don't want to continue because they see they don't have that space of where they can really make it what do you say, in a business module, or they don't see it a revenue generating thing. So where tomorrow I want them to come forward, the next generations of our artisans family to come forward to learn this art. And there should be a school where they are lacking in design, they should complete that. They should learn about that design skills along with their own traditional way of their product, own way of their,
creating the product.
Their art forms along with the designs input. So I want to create a school for them tomorrow.
Definitely, these are, like, I believe when it comes to entrepreneurship, it is such a journey where your business is your baby.
Yeah.
And you want to see it succeed at different levels in life. So definitely.
I don't want to hold on to it as Mirshika is mine and this is it belongs to them. So I want them to come forward. I want it pass on to the next generation. I want this should be taught in every schools and educational institutes.
Definitely.
So they should be aware of Indian art and Indian culture. And this is what I want tomorrow to be. And this is just the beginning of my long journey.
Definitely. And to end off this interview, I would like to ask one last question. What would be your suggestion or your advice, more say, like, for women entrepreneurs who are just beginning their journey? They have an idea, they have a concept, they think it could work out, they have a business model set up as well. But that final push to actually put it into action, what advice you would have for them?
See, there are, I would say, I'll tell you one story. During this Women's Day, I met a few ladies who they used to make papad. And they were very shy about what they do. And once they met me, they were saying, "Oh, ma'am does such a beautiful thing. Then how can I say this? I just make a general papad." See, this is what I say. Why I'm saying you this example is, no job is small or a big. Whatever you do, first it has to be a constant, like you should be into it. You should be proud of it, like whatever you are doing it tomorrow. But you should not feel shy that should I go and speak about it because I just make this. You have to make your passion alive and get some uniqueness into it. That is what I want every woman to know. Everybody has something or the other that they want to Once they want to get into a business, that's a different mindset. Somebody does it for the passion. Like, I just do it for my families or I do it for my friends. But if you really wanted a journey of an entrepreneur, there would be a lot of challenges. But if you know what you're doing is correct, there is nothing can stop you. Initial days would be very, very difficult. But try to find a uniqueness on it. Like how are traditional things, but we have the design skills, so we are coming up with the contemporary style. Even in Papad, I have asked them, why don't you make nachos? Just a
There's a different twist to it.
There must be so many things into it. So tomorrow, nothing big, nothing small, but if you really are passionate about it, you should stick to it. You should not be tomorrow. You should not feel like, oh, I'm facing a lot of challenges, so I should quit. Please don't, because that will definitely take you to somewhere tomorrow. And don't feel shy. I mean, you should come all out, and you should be feeling proud whatever you are doing tomorrow. So,
definitely, that's a very sweet advice, I would say, because typically we hear just go for it. But we don't hear the back end that, it could be tough, but the only way to win it is to go through it.
Yes.
So definitely.
So a lot of challenges, and an entrepreneur journey is not a very journey of like a bed of rose. You cannot just feel like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and everything is like, has to be perfect and everything what I have dreamt of should be like that. Because it's a business, it's a journey where ups and downs are definitely there. But having said that, you should know that what are you doing? Not today I'm doing this, tomorrow I'm doing that. Whatever you are doing, have that faith, and that's what I said. You go out, you speak to your friends. First and the foremost is to get advice. Like, never feel ashamed of help and to get advice from people. There might be people, friends, your relatives who can come up with good advices to tell you, no, you're doing this way, might as well you do it that way. So asking for help is never a shame.
Definitely. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. It has been actually a pleasure seeing all these beautiful products and learning about your journey in general, because I personally love art and craft a lot. I enjoy doing a lot of crafts, and I like watching craftsmen actually work on it, because they do it with such passion. And today to hear it from your experience and from your perspective has truly been insightful. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining.
Thank you so much.